It's another episode of Stuck in the Middle podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm one of your hosts, Reflex.
And I'm AK.
AK, how you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yo, what track was that?
That's that man Kosi. Shout out to Kosi, man. Big Dreams Entertainment. That's a local label mate.
Oh, word.
Yeah, she was she was feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
man. But
man.
listen though, bro.
Yeah, man.
Growing up, right?
Yeah.
There's some little girls who they just wanna be. You know what I'm saying, like philanthropists and stuff like that. Some little girls growing up, their parents like groom them to be like, beauty pageants from birth.
From birth, yeah.
Nah,
that's true,
man,
yeah.
it's, you know what I'm saying, one of the things that I really respect about, like, say pageantry is like what they stand for and things like that.
Mhm.
And one of my favorite memories though from all that is, you remember Steve Harvey?
Yeah,
One time when he announced it wrong.
Yeah, fam, yeah. Yo, the
Yeah,
whole
man.
world was on that.
Yes, sir. Nah, but just all that just to say, bro, we got a special guest in the building. Let them know who
Yes,
got
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, today in the building, man, we have a very special young lady, from the continent of Africa. She's Cameroonian, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. She's 2017, 2018 Miss USA Africa.
Miss Africa,
Africa,
USA.
Yeah.
Africa USA. Yo, the whole morning I've been conscripting her, but ladies and gentlemen, help us welcome Corinne Missi. I know I said that wrong.
To the
But-
podcast.
A little.
Yeah.
It's Corinne Missi.
Corinne.
Yes.
That's not
Corinne.
French, is it?
Yes. Well, I think it's. I don't know. I think it's Greek.
You don't know where? You don't
Like
know.
I think
Corinne?
it's Greek.
Corinne. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
What does it mean?
I don't know.
That's your homework.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It has. It's maybe like a goddess. I don't know.
Okay.
You just pulled that out of she just pulled that one out of her bag right now. I like
We'll
it
take
though.
that. We'll take that. So who's Corinne?
Well, Corinne is a young Cameroonian. She's been in the state for a very long time. Time for her to go home very soon.
Okay.
About 7 years. I'm 22 years old. Just graduated from college. Looking for a job right now. Volunteering around. Applying for grad school. So Corinne is just a regular girl who happened to be Miss Africa USA.
Yo, like you say you just graduated. What did you graduate in?
Actuarial mathematics.
What is that?
Actual mathematics.
Actuarial.
Actuarial.
Yeah.
Like,
So do you know what an actuary is?
nah, bro.
No.
Nah.
I mean, when I hear that name, I think of like in the Olympics, the dudes that sling the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think about.
Oh shoot.
No, so it's like the people working for insurance companies, like making all the predictions and creating like the mathematical models and deciding who to insure, what are the risks. So you never heard of that?
I've never heard of it.
Actuary, you
No.
never heard of that?
No.
Huh. Well, a lot of it is based on like probability and statistics and stuff like that.
What made you go into that?
Well, I was a chemistry major at first, and honestly, I
Yo,
hated
wait,
the
time
lab.
out. Like you left the frying pan and then enter fire.
No
Chemistry.
No, chemistry was like those 4 hours lab. It was too much, and then you had to take biology, and I'm not a good science
Yeah.
person, so I wanted to go into business, but my dad was like, "No, you have to find something, better than just business because everybody's a business major. It's very wide." So I was like, okay. I looked at my transcripts. I was like, what subject do I have the best grades in? And from like high school and stuff, it was always math. So I was like, well, I talked to my math teacher. He was so happy. He was so excited because not a lot of people want to be math majors. Like hearing math scares people. It's like, I don't know how to do that, but
I love math.
you do really?
I do. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like
Not
in
a
my
lot of people
family,
can do that.
we brothers, by the way. He's the only person who gets mad.
Who is who is the oldest?
Who you think? Guess.
Are you guys gonna be offended? if
No,
I-
not at all.
I think you're older.
Me?
Yes.
Dang,
Thank you.
yo. He said
Thank
thank you because everybody keeps thinking I'm the oldest.
So who's the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, see, you didn't
okay.
even know. You just guessed that because
Well, I guess because he kind of looked a little older than you, and I wouldn't. You
it's
guys
the
don't
beard.
look alike.
God bless them with a healthy beard. See, I got a patch joint. Ladies,
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but anyway, yeah.
Man, it's nothing about the beard, man. I just look older than you, fam.
See, the thing with beards,
I don't think it's a good thing, to look older unless you
No,
want
it's
to look.
older than him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, older than him.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yo, let's go back to the conversation. Forget all this old stuff. You're the reigning Miss Cameroon, Miss Africa USA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let me say this: you tried out for it, damn, it's not soccer. You did Miss Cameroon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't get that. That didn't stop you from moving on to the next step, which is really big, because it was someone like me. I tried the first time and I don't get it. That's it. I'm like, forget this. Moving on to something way different. So what got you going?
Well, one thing I am is I'm very persistent. Like when I want something, I'm a go-getter, pretty much. And not winning Miss Cameroon, I think it happened for a reason. I'm a big believer in sometimes you have to go through different steps in life in order to get where you need to go. So Miss Cameroon was like a stepping stone for me. It was a way for me to get to Miss Africa USA. And also, if I didn't do Miss Cameroon, I probably wouldn't have won Miss Africa USA, because I didn't have the experience when I did Miss Cameroon. But after that, I knew what was expected. I knew what I needed to work on. I knew what I had to do. And that's exactly what I did for Miss Africa USA.
Was this? Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
I mean, this is not something that you just wake up and just get into. So, I mean,
was this
something
like
from
from birth? Like usually, I'm thinking like girls who they have been training for this joint.
Oh no, this is like my first year doing pageantry.
Word.
Yeah.
So somebody was like,
I never.
Yo, you look good. You go try out or.
Well, I mean, I've always
just
been,
wake up.
No, I've always been into like fashion and the whole like beauty system. And I wanted to do the actual Miss Cameroon a few years ago, but my dad taught me out of that.
Guys, listen. Don't get this twisted, because you could, we all sitting at the same, height, length and stuff. Shit is super tall.
Bruh,
like, shit is taller than me. Like, she's taller than me. You know what I mean? She walking up like,
I have a little help. I'm 6 foot. That's not like.
The shoes is tough. I like the shoes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm digging everything.
Thank you.
Did the height have an influence, in you getting into, modeling and all whatnot?
Did what?
Your height?
Yeah, obviously, it's a big part of it. When you're tall and slim, that's what models look like. So it's definitely been an advantage for me. And as far like there's like modeling and pageant are like two different things. And I was more of a model than a pageant girl, but I had to like kind of grow into pageantry and learn like the proper, even posing and stuff like that is completely different. So. Yeah, I mean, I didn't wake up and decided to go to for Miss Africa USA. I wanted to do Miss Cameroon in 2015, but like I said, my dad taught me out of it, because if you win, you have to move back, and he didn't want me to take a year.
Like permanently?
For 1 year, like for your reigning year, you have to move back for a year.
Wait, Janik was Miss Cameroon?
No, the actual Miss back in Cameroon.
Oh,
like,
okay,
I wanted to do like the
okay,
one
okay.
back in Cameroon. Yeah, but he was
like, nah,
it's not happening.
Do you want to move back?
Yeah, eventually, yeah, definitely.
Why? What kind of plans do you have for Cameroon? And is
What kind
that
of
part of what you do as Miss Africa?
Yeah, part of it is because going for girls' education, and mostly STEM education, because those fields like the science, mathematics, engineering, technology, those are not very like female dominated. Which is a shame, because I do think girls are smarter than guys. No offense.
Okay.
But so what I want for Cameroon is a change of mentality. And that happens through education. Education is the base for a lot of problems that we have. And I believe that if we solve the education problem, then we can better solve, other issues as well.
I feel like men had to stop women from, doing things like engineering, getting into technology, because of the fear of competition. Like, they don't want to see man and woman on the same level.
Why not?
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying, like, most men are scared of a woman in power, a woman with power. It's a threat. So being that women are actually, getting into technology, taking, men's, the things that men do, it's really threatening, and most, men don't want to see that, which is a shame. But we invite women to jump into those roles. Like you said, women are more smarter than men. I'm not going to deny that. You might have a point right there. You might have a point, because who really is the leader of a household? True. If you ask the question.
It's the woman.
But anyways.
You're getting too deep, man. I'm just trying to get to know Corinne.
Hey man, all right, let's get back to our topic though.
So what involves being Miss Africa USA.
Yeah.
What did you what did you have to overcome to get to your brain right now as queen?
As far as like the competition,
Yeah. How
So-
tough was it mentally, physically, and everything for you?
I zone out. Have you ever been in a situation where you're just so focused you don't even have time to worry about what's going on around you? I completely zoned out. I already had like the whole scenario in my head. I knew exactly what I was gonna say. I knew exactly what I was gonna do. You know, whether it's like the move, the dance. The only thing I wing, I'm not gonna lie, is the talent one. I mean, no, the traditional act. That's where you have to like dance or do some type of traditional act. And I'm not a big traditional dancer. That's the only thing where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out there and move around.
What's your tribe?
I'm a Banen and Bassa.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hear like a little French accent.
Banen and Bassa.
Yeah.
Banen is like you know Mbamwa.
Nah.
No,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, it's like it's in the center, and then Bassa.
Of course, yeah.
When you pulled up, you know what I'm saying? When you like, dang, you see, you know, Miss Liberia or Miss Nigeria, it's like, dang, she looks good. She gonna get it. When you pulled up, what was going through your mind the first day at camp or whatever?
I mean, I knew who were going to be my biggest
Competition.
yes,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, we created such like a sisterhood connection that it wasn't even like I want to beat her or like, you know, I want to. It was more like, let me just go out there and have fun. Let me just go out there and do what I came here to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all the other girls did the same thing, you know, and we didn't have any drama. I really, really love this woman.
Well, like
There
no
was
bad girls
nothing- No,
club,
there
no
was nothing
housewives
like
of-
that. Everybody, yeah, there was nothing like that. So
Yeah.
I think we all had a pretty good experience, I would say.
I mean, like, coming from Miss Cameroon, actually not, you know, getting the Miss Cameroon, you know, title, you moved on to Miss Africa USA. It seemed to me as though there was a goal. There's something in your mind that you want to, you know, accomplish. There's something that you want people to know. Like, you're looking back to the continent of Africa and you're seeing all these different problems, and you want to use that platform to address these issues. Like, talk a little bit about those issues other than the STEM, you know, other than STEM.
Yeah. What it is like I think that we don't have a lot of young role models, and that's something. For example, for me, I have a few role models, and they are the reason, you know, they motivate me to do what I do. And I think it's important that young Africans see people of their generation doing amazing things and having the spotlight, so they can be motivated to do the same. Going for Miss Cameroon and even Miss Africa USA, my goal has always been to be a role model. You know, I want a young girl to look at me and be like, hey, you know, I can do the same thing. It doesn't matter what industry she might want to go to, you know, pageant, modeling, mathematics, whatever. Just know that you have in you what it takes to get it. And if it doesn't work out on the first trial, it's only delayed, it's not denied.
Right.
That's like my biggest thing. You know, when something doesn't work out, sometimes it's better that way because it's preparing for something even bigger.
Facts, yeah.
Yo, did you know the lady who organizes
That Miss Africa.
yeah, Miss Africa,
No.
Cameroonian?
Oh dang.
Yeah, you didn't know? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found out this morning.
Yeah, it was, I think this is last time Cameroon won, it was in 2012, I want to say. So
So ain't no bias, people.
Right.
everybody was
Yeah.
Ain't no slide in the pockets. It's this competition.
Yeah, it was.
Because I was looking at it, I was like, Cameroonian won this. Let me see who created it. So I read
Yeah.
who organized Miss Cameroon.
Who won last
you know.
year?
It was Nareda Lobo. She's from Cape Verde.
Do you feel like a year is enough to accomplish all that you? Because you know we spoke to Miss Cameroon USA, and you know she had her plans and things laid out, and like then she had to turn over the crown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I have my whole life to make a difference. You know, the title will not stop me. It may help me better because reality is people love titles. You know, they when I step into that's Miss Africa USA, then they take you more seriously, and that I have to take that to my advantage and do the things that I need to do, like push, you know, my agenda forward. But I have a lifetime to do this. Miss Africa USA, this is just the beginning of something, you know, even bigger than myself,
Right.
I want to say. So yes, a year may not be enough to do everything I want to do as Miss Africa USA, but also a year is plenty of time to do a lot. and then continue.
I mean, I would like to say years a lot, but the minute I go to sleep and I wake up, I feel like 6 months just passed me. You know, I don't know if you feel like that sometimes.
It's 2018, y'all. Like,
Right. You know, right.
I didn't see this year go. Like, it just kind of sped up.
Yeah.
But you have to, I mean, if you plan accordingly, I feel like it's 365 days. That's a lot of days.
Yeah. Tell me this. Do you have a team? Like, do you have a PR person? Do you have a manager?
So
like?
right now we have like a small team, and we're working toward making it bigger, because there's so much we can do just ourselves. So right now we're trying to expand and like get more people, so that I could be doing more things right now. So yeah, that's the goal for 2018. And I just don't want Cameroonians, you know, on the team, because this is Miss Africa USA. It's the whole continent of Africa. So I want to see, you know, Tanzania, Nigeria, Congo, whoever, like African people getting involved.
Right. You mentioned about role models. Growing up, getting to this level, who did you look up to? Who inspires you?
Well, one of my biggest role model, and I always say that, is Michelle Obama. She's like, to me, she's a true definition of what a woman can be. Not necessarily should be, because it could be different, you know, different type of women, but she is the woman I look up the most after my mom.
Right.
Obviously, mom. Hopefully you watching.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to
mom.
The pageant thing, right? I'm looking at the pictures, you know, of all the the girls and stuff. There's certain height, certain shape, you know, going towards to certain color. What are the criteria? Like, what is really needed? And when you guys are doing this, I mean, do you have, like, let's just say the manager or whoever is, you know, leading you guys, telling you, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. If not, you're not going to make the team, or I don't know.
So,
what is it like?
So in order to like enter the competition, each country usually has their own committee. So like, you know, there's Miss Nigeria USA who select who they want to send to Miss Africa USA, you know, Miss Congo USA. So everybody, each country selects their candidate for that. And then each country also has, you know, the committee behind them, helping them through and stuff like that. So the biggest thing is, you know, since you know that is a Cameroonian behind this, you know, that relationship, we couldn't do it because people, you know, will think that I had an advantage. So I was assigned two ladies who, oh my gosh, they came through. Because I got here a week before the competition.
Where?
From Alabama.
Okay, cool. Dang.
And I just
Random
moved.
state.
Alabama.
You just moved from Cameroon?
From Alabama.
From Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, good in Alabama.
My bad.
Wow.
And I got here like a week before the competition, and when I tell you that I didn't have anything ready, like the only thing I had was my speech. That was because that was the only thing I could really control, which I ended up changing. Anyways, so I didn't have anything. And you know, the competition, I don't know if you know anything about it, but it's like 6 different portions. So you have the self introduction.
I was watching a whole bunch
yourself,
of it this week.
And like explain what your platform is and who you are. Pretty much, you have to sell yourself. And then you have the traditional act, the one where I completely winged. Then you have the talent. And I did a little dance of Beyonce, who run the world. I had like 2 little dancers. It was good. Hey. And then you had the Parade of Nations. That was my favorite part of the competition, because you have to create this national costume. It has to have the colors of your country, or the flag of your country. And that
you created that?
I did.
Oh.
With cardboards. I was in the store buying electrical wires, tape. It was ridiculous. Christmas decoration. I don't know if you saw the picture of like the wings and stuff.
Like I said, I watched a bunch of the
videos. I created the whole thing, and even the outfit, it was completely winged. Like I did the skirt out of this cape. I was like gluing stuff.
That's part of the challenge. It was testing y'all.
Yeah, like it was like I was like, you know, I'm gonna go out there tomorrow and embarrass myself. I am not ready for this. Like, what do I do? But then somehow, you know, God came
Yeah,
through. He
came
was
through.
like, I'm not gonna let you hang in.
Most def.
So
most
yeah,
def.
I mean, it was fun. Like in the moment, it was a little I was nervous because
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I see all these girls and they have all these things ready, and like I'm looking at Miss Nigeria. I'm just like, holy crap, where'd you get that costume from? But I'm thinking I have to like sew and glue
Miss like
my
Sierra
own
Leone
stuff.
came out with like a butterfly. It
Yeah,
was like
it was a lot going on, but I wasn't the only one who was like doing stuff like the night before though,
Yeah.
because during like pageant week is crazy. There's always something that comes up. A designer cannot come anymore. You have to find a new designer. Somebody can't pick up your dress. You have to find a backup. Like there's always something that's going on, so you
Right.
always have to be ready to handle whatever it is that comes your way. But it was a fun experience. Like looking back, I'm glad I did all of that, because it would have been different if it was just given to me. If I had all these things available, I wouldn't have known. Like I wouldn't have enjoyed this that way, if
Right.
it makes sense. Because I know that I went to sleep at 5:00. I had to be up at 8. Things like that. Like I can enjoy the title a little better because I know I actually worked hard for it.
Right. Speaking of working hard, I mean, if you had to take or add something to the whole pageant process, what would that be?
If I had to add something from
let me make it a step harder. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do a survey, you apply like, hey, how can Miss Africa whole organization,
be-
you know, say, watch your answer now. You still running. You still running. How can it be improved? The whole thing, like what I mean? There's critics out there.
I will say,
so.
marketing level, not a lot of people know about it, and I think that is a platform that has a lot of potential. And so it's really just we have to push that image of Miss Africa USA, especially in the state. Like it's not just Miss Africa, it's Miss Africa in the US. So we want Americans to know about it as well, not just the African community here, but the whole country to know about it. So, and also back home as well, I feel like I'm planning on going back to Cameroon, but I don't think a lot of people know a lot about Miss Africa USA. I've been like on a few pages of like some newspapers, but that's still not enough. We have to create a platform so big that encourages other women to run for it. The only reason why I knew about it was because I don't know if you know Larissa. She won Miss Cameroon in 2014, and I was Miss Cameroon, like actually in Cameroon. I was in Cameroon that time, and she was like, "Oh, I'm Miss Africa USA 2013." I was like, "Miss Africa USA? I've been in the US for like 2 years now. I've never heard of that before." So when I went home, I Googled it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then that's how. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have known about it.
Right.
So I think that marketing is a big thing, like really pushing the image of South Africa USA out there.
You're going home soon. How much of you, as far as like what you're trying to do with STEM and other things that you might have going, how much of your focus is here, and how much of your focus is back home in Africa? Because you are Miss Africa USA.
Yeah.
I would say it's half and half, or I would say 16-40, just because I'm African. 60% goes to
Yeah.
so I'd say it's half and half, because at the end of the day, I may be African, but I'm also just a woman, and I can relate to other women. Doesn't matter where you come from, what color you are, we're women, and I can relate to you. And the biggest thing, is toward young girls and young women. I want them to take control, of their lives. And whether it's in the state or in Africa it's just a little delayed, just all the challenges and stuff like that. So that's why I would say 60% in Africa, because we're not there yet. We are on our way, but there's still so much work to do. So that's that's what I would say.
You're also the co-founder of a non-profit organization called
Sakai Foundation.
What does SACAY stand for?
Okay, those are, I know it may sound ridiculous, but I actually made up those because it's the first letter of each of my siblings' first name. So it's Steve,
Which are?
Amanda,
Sakai.
Corinne, Audrey, and Aves. But
Yeah, big
to
old
make
family.
it sound, it's 5, yeah.
Okay, never
To
mind.
make
It's
it
small.
sound,
My family
like
15.
not just like a childish thing. I kind of like put the actual words to the the letters, but it just comes from my family.
What are the words you put together?
Solidarity, youth, caring, ambition. The thing is, the whole idea behind Sakai Foundation is the idea of a family. that's why I chose my siblings' names, because we are family, and what family do, they support each other. You know, they help each other through tough times. They're there for each other financially, emotionally, whatever. So that's like the whole idea behind the nonprofit, and being there for each other, helping the youth, because it's so hard when you see what some people go through life. It's just, you just feel so blessed, you know, just the fact that we are here today, like having this discussion, is because we didn't worry about what we had to eat this morning or where we had to sleep last night, you know what I mean? Like, it's like we have all these things that we take for granted, and some people don't have the opportunity to have those things. So like, that's the idea behind, you know, Sakai Foundation. I mean, I'm thinking of creating business that will be linked to that as well, you know, where some profits will go toward that, because I believe that if we don't come together, nothing is going to happen. There's so much you can do by yourself. And when I go to Cameroon, my goal is really to get as many Cameroonians involved with the charity, as far as like volunteering and just seeing, you know, for themselves, because you can live in a country, but seeing the realities are two different things.
Right.
So
who would you like to work with?
As far
as the pageant,
with this platform, you know what I'm saying, that you have.
I mean,
like,
hey, Michelle Obama, if you're watching,
you know what I mean, like,
if
shoot,
you're watching, hit me up.
Hey man, shoot your shot. 2018.
Right now, honestly, I would work with anybody who's willing to put in the effort. You don't have to have a special title. You don't have to have a special, you know, popularity. It's just, if you want to make a change, if you want to make a difference, if you want to be part of something bigger than yourself, send me a text.
Are more guys sliding in your DMs, not, you know, since the pageant, or it's like,
I mean,
I mean, it's just a question.
I've gotten a few, you know.
When we put up the flyer, you know what I'm saying, like, people were hitting me up like, yo, she's pretty.
I have a few, you know, a few DM messages, I would say.
So they're just sliding in there like,
Miss Africa, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, mostly though, it was a lot of young girls, you know, I want to do this, and, you know, how do I go about it? What motivated you to do this? So it's kind of just
Wait,
like,
guys are sliding in your DM to ask you that?
No, I say girls.
Yo, they try to cut corners, yo. Like, hey, how did you, and then 2 weeks later, it's like, hey, you try to have a drink?
No, guys, guys are guys.
guys are guys.
Oh, man, what do you mean by that, guys are guys?
I said no, it's really good questions. Okay, well, I mean, you know, when people just, I mean, if you hit me up or if you text me like this, as far as me, especially on my Facebook business, like, that's like the worst thing. Like, people text you, and I have like this automatic message that goes out every time you text me on Facebook, but they keep texting about, I'm like, this is a professional account, you know, if you have any inquiries, please. And then just to keep texting, I'm just like, okay, that's a little, I mean, but I don't shut down people, you know. I'm open to talk to people as far as work.
You know what they say, right?
As far as work.
They say persistence is key. So, you know.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that, you know, when you shoot the ball the first time you miss, you have to shoot again. If you miss, shoot again. Don't let your dream just go to waste because you miss one shot now.
What other goals, you know, what other goals is, you know, Miss is there to accomplish, you know, as far as like 2018? Like, what do you have your mind locked in right now?
What I have in mind, like the first thing that comes to my mind really are conferences, like youth conferences about education for young girls in high school, middle schools, because there's no such thing as mentorship back in Africa, at least from what I've experienced. You know, it's not in the culture to have someone that you can ask questions, someone who can guide you through life, someone who's been there. And then as far as the parent and children relationship, it's mostly it's respectful, but at the same time there's like a huge gap because there's fear of, you know, like, I can't talk to my mom about certain things, or I can't talk to my aunt about certain things, she's gonna do this, or she's gonna yell at me or something. So like, there's nothing, like, you don't have, unless if you have like older siblings. But if you don't have that, sometimes you don't even want to talk to your siblings because, well, they'll judge you.
Yeah.
So, like, my idea is really to have that mentorship program in place where you have other people you can talk to and who can help you through whatever it is that you may be going through in your life. And I'm also thinking about, as far as education, of course, school supplies. It's so basic, but it's so rare in some places in Africa. Some people don't even have a notebook or a pencil or a backpack to go to school. And if you don't have any of these things, then you can't really focus in school because you don't have the means to be successful.
Right.
So yeah, the bigger goal is really to be able to build schools eventually, like better schools in some part of Africa. That's like the bigger vision. It may not happen this year, but I see it happening in the near future.
Yeah.
After your reign as Miss Africa USA, what other goals and plans do you have?
Well, like I said, I'm applying to grad school right now. I'm trying to get into Harvard. So Harvard, if you're watching,
Just slap that. You know what I'm saying? Just slap Miss Africa on the
like Harvard, if you're
on the
watching,
top.
hello.
Hi. Sliding DM. Sliding DM.
So I'm trying to go to grad school. And I have a very entrepreneurial spirit. So, but the thing with me is like, I can do so many things that it's really hard to pick one thing to focus on. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, but I have a big passion for fashion. That's something I've always been into. That's what led me, to competing in Miss Africa USA. I even 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, I had my first fashion show. Like, I designed like 30 different garments. It was like during a month. It took me a month to do all that. So I really want to go into fashion and have my own clothing brand, makeup brand as well. But I also want to do something challenging as far as like my math background.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, are you full time now, just Miss Africa? Like, everything is just taking a back seat, or you still like dabbling in other?
I mean, not everything is taking a back seat, but as of now, I'm really trying to focus on it because it's only a year, and you don't want to let the year go by without doing anything because you were so busy trying to focus on, like I say, everything has its own timing, and now it's Miss Africa USA timing.
Man, perfect. I love it.
How can people reach you on social?
How can they reach me?
Yeah, how can they reach you on social? I mean, if you want to give out your digits.
I don't know if she wants to give
My number is 855.
1-800
1-800 Miss
Africa. Well, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Snapchat, but I haven't been on Snapchat for like a year.
Snapchat sucks, man. Shoot me.
So, and I think I'm on Twitter, but I never use Twitter. So mostly Facebook and Instagram is Corinne Missi. Or if you just type Miss Africa USA, it'll be the first thing that pops up. If you have any idea, if you want to help out, if you want to contribute, whatever, just shoot me a text. No personal text, work text.
Work text.
I dig it. Yo, wish you the best in your reign and future endeavors and plans, and hope everything goes well. With the future.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a talk with your PR person though, man.
Yeah.
Like communication is key in this industry.
Yeah, it is. But we're working on it.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yo, AK.
Yeah, man.
Let them know how they can reach us, man.
They can reach us on every platform at SITM Podcast. Email us sitmpodcast237@gmail.com for questions, comments, referrals, anything you need. We're here, except money. But
I thought you was big baller, man.
Hey, man. Well, they said fake it till you make it. So
I hear you.
yeah, I'm in that lane right now.
Okay, I heard something better. Learn it till you earn it.
I'm gonna let that one sink in. Maybe I'll catch it next week. I mean, I'll catch it, but I don't know if I dig it yet.
Yeah, learn it till
Learn it till you earn it.
I think it was the what was it? I think it was Stanford conference, like Women in Tech conference last year. Yeah, and it was like, you know, people tell you to fake it till you make it, which is good, which is part of like, you know, saying it before it happens. But some people take it to the extreme. You know what I mean? Like they literally fake it all the way, which can be deceiving. So I feel like learning till you till you earn it is more like give yourself the means to get there. Don't just, you know, pretend.
I dig it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I want to let you guys know this episode was brought to you in partnership with Perfect Office Solutions.
Yes,
if you
sir.
hit them up, Perfect Office Solutions, you can get a 10% off on your monthly lease. Just let them know we sent you. Use promo code SITM podcast and get you a good office space if you're an entrepreneur in the Maryland area. They're good folks. Let them know we sent you. Get 10% off. Perfect Office Solutions. Hey, man, we're Stuck in Middle podcast. We'll be back next week
with another episode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We out.
Tune in. We out.